From red carpets abroad to chariot wheels in Puri, from billion-dollar brand stories to sacred school vans, Bharat this week was a celebration of diplomacy, development and devotion. I'm Laura Nika and this is Bharat This Week. This week began with a diplomatic journey that spanned 3 continents and made history at every stop. On July 2nd, Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Ghana, the first Indian Prime Minister to visit in 30 years. He addressed the Ghanaian Parliament, met a vibrant Indian diaspora, and was conferred the country's highest civilian honor. The Order of the Star, India and Ghana agreed to take ties to the next level, a comprehensive partnership in trade, culture, tech, and more. From West Africa to Latin America, on July 4th, Modi arrived in Argentina, where no Indian Prime Minister had visited in almost 6 decades. He met with President Javier Milei in Buenos Aires to deepen cooperation between the 2 democratic giants of the global south. Then came the Caribbean. In Trinidad and Tobago, Modi was conferred yet another honor, the Order of the Republic, the country's highest civilian award. The reason? His global leadership, diaspora outreach, and COVID humanitarian aid. This wasn't just a tour. It was a message. India is no longer knocking at the global door. It's being invited inside with honors. Back home, the headlines were just as grand. In Haryana, Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini announced a project that promises thrills and transformation. India's first Disneyland-style theme park, spread across 500 acres near Panchgaon Chowk in Manesar, the entertainment hub aims to put Haryana on the global amusement map. Tourism, infrastructure, jobs, NCR skyline may soon feature roller coasters. And while Haryana builds for fun, one Indian conglomerate is building its brand at record speed. The Adani Group has been declared India's fastest growing brand of 2025 with an 82% surge in brand value, according to the Brand Finance report. Thanks to aggressive investments in infrastructure, green energy and stakeholder trust, Adani isn't just a name, it's a symbol of ambition. Meanwhile, a different kind of icon has secured his legacy legally. MS Dhoni, India's former cricket captain, has his application for the Captain Cool trademark officially approved this week. Filed in June 2023, it now covered sports coaching, training and related facilities, marking yet another chapter in his post-cricket journey. Whether behind the stumps or behind a brand, Dhoni remains calm, calculated and classic. And as legacy builds, one of India's biggest revolutions just hit double digits. Digital India has completed 10 years this week. Launched in 2015, it aimed to bridge India's digital divide. Today, it's a global case study, from UPI payments to e-governance, Aadhaar authentication to telemedicine. India's digital leap has empowered citizens, improved governance, and positioned us as a global digital leader. From reforms to rituals, this week also marked a divine return. Holidays were over, not just for school children, but also for Prabhu Jagannath, Lord Balbhadra and Devi Subhadra, as Bahuda Yatra 2025 was celebrated on July 5th in Puri. The divine siblings returned from their 9-day stay at Gundicha temple to Sri Mandira, drawing lakhs of devotees to witness the spiritual homecoming. The Odisha government managed the massive crowd with CCTV drones, surveillance, health camps and real-time monitoring. Today, the divine siblings will appear in their majestic Sunavesha, adorned with over 208 kgs of gold and precious gems on their chariots. The spectacle, celebrated on Ashada Shukla Ekadashi, transforms the deities into regal figures, radiating royal splendor as part of the grand Rath Yatra tradition. Today, the 19th World Sanskrit Conference took place in Kathmandu, Nepal from June 26th to 30th, bringing together scholars and participants from around the world. Renowned for its academic depth and cultural value, the conference focused on Sanskrit language, literature, and philosophy. it serves as a global platform for researchers, scholars, and philosophers, enthusiasts, and even more to engage in meaningful discussions and knowledge exchange. The first such international Sanskrit conference, known as Vishwa Samskrita Sammelan, was held in New Delhi in March 1972, jointly organized by the Ministry of Education and Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan. And finally, we close with a story that doesn't come from headlines, but from the heart. In Cherthala, Kerala, Sister Mary Bona Lawrence is the headmistress of Vayalar Little Flower LP School and also its van driver. Most of our students come from humble, economically challenged families. Many can't afford private transport, and public options are limited. To ensure no child misses school because of money, the school management provides a van, but finding a driver was becoming a costly burden. So Sister Mary Bona stepped up. Each morning she drives the school van herself. Then she changes uniforms and becomes a principal in the classroom. Her day begins with ignition and ends with inspiration. She calls it more than work. It's a sacred duty. She's a quiet example of leadership, compassion, and service, far from the spotlight, but close to the soul of the nation. In a world of excuses, Sister Mary Bona chose to act, and that's the story of Bharat this week. From state visits to school vans, from Captain Cool to Gundicha chariots, India isn't standing still. It's moving proudly, boldly, and with purpose. I'm Laura Nika, and this was Bharat this week. See you next time.